Hey, what is up guys? So we are going to be going over the settings that I have for sensitivity as well as the custom settings that I have on each individual hero that I play in Overwatch. A lot of times you guys ask this during a live stream, and there's a lot more in depth that I can go over by making this video to explain why I have the certain things the way that they are. But if you guys want to watch a video on some of the heroes that I don't play that also show off these other settings in the game, I'll go ahead and leave a link down below in the description box. It'll show you guys a video that I made that talks about all of the other settings that can give you some type of advantage in the game. It's all relatively subjective, but objectively you could argue certain aspects and certain things can, you know, give you more vision in the game and give you more awareness overall in the game. But anyways, yeah, let's go ahead and go over it. So as far as the sensitivity settings, because this is the question that I get asked the most, is what are your settings on your sensitivity? Well, it kind of varies on certain heroes. For the most part, it is 15 though. That's what I have on all heroes, and I have Bloom on. Certain heroes don't have Bloom, so it doesn't really matter anyways. The type that I usually like is Dot, but again, it's different on each hero, so we're going to go ahead and go over that. But as far as my controls go, I use the keyboard and mouse. At one point, I was messing around with a controller, but I think overall keyboard and mouse is much better. But the certain heroes, I don't really mind playing on a controller, but on a character like Genji, where you have to turn around, I can't stand using a controller. Unless there was a button to automatic 180, I just really don't like using a controller overall for the most part. But as far as my settings on the control and swapping the key bindings, sensitivity is 15. I have left shift to Q, so Q is now as 1. I don't actually use the 1 on my keyboard. I actually have a mouse that has buttons on the side. If you're wondering what mouse it is the Razer Naga 2012 one. I just prefer the way the buttons feel on this one over the... Because some of you guys were like, why don't you get the new Razer... The new Razer Naga. I actually have that one, which I'm thinking you guys are talking about, like the Chroma one. I actually do like that mouse, but specifically for Overwatch, I really like the 2012 one. But yeah, I just use the buttons on the side. I just use the number 1 specifically on it. But yeah, that's my settings as far as changing the controls. I really like having it on 1 rather than Q, because I just think it feels more comfortable. But again, that's just kind of player preference. And as far as settings on Genji, the settings that I have, I'll go ahead and go to the options for the first one, and all these options will be available to you guys by just going to the control, but I'm not going to show you guys each one by going to the option menu. I'm just going to show you this once. You guys can go ahead and do it. Like for Genji, I have the automatically climb walls, I have that turned on, and then for other heroes, for example, like once we get into Zarya, I'll show you this real quick. So different heroes have different options in the control section. Like I said, I've already made a video on this, so if you guys want to check that out, I'll leave it down below in the description box. But there's certain things that I think are really good. Like for example, with Zarya, I think everyone should turn on allied health bars. But each hero has different settings because it's custom to each hero and you can change it on each individual hero. But again, I'll go over the settings, but I'm not going to go to the options menu on each time. I'm just going to show you it in game because I think it's much more valuable for that. But anyways, as far as Genji goes, I really like the auto mantle. The reason why I like it is because you don't have to hit space to climb on the wall. The reason why I like this is because it doesn't accidentally force you to jump. If you DI perfectly into a wall, or just not even perfectly, just into the wall, I would rather have it auto mantle the wall than have me to accidentally perhaps jump because of the tick rate or something along the lines of that. Or if you get pushed by something, it doesn't use your jump, and that's what I really like. I think overall it's just a better choice on Genji, and that's simply just due to the way that the tick rate works, and also sometimes if you get pushed by something, again, it doesn't force you to automatically use your second jump, therefore you can accidentally get yourself killed if you know, of course, use your second jump sometimes. So that's what I like for Genji. As far as Farah goes, the sensitivity is the same on everything will be the same in sensitivity unless I'm mentioning it. So Farah's same sensitivity. I have her settings a little bit different. So I still have, well, for you it'd be left shift for my Q, which is the ability to jump up in the air. But I like using her concussive blast on the right click. That just allows me to shoot and then right click, and it just makes it much easier if I'm trying to push people off. I prefer over moving my finger to the other key, and that lets me strafe a little bit better. So that's just my only change on Farah. As far as Tracer goes, I like Bloom on, so you'll see that I have it on circle. I wish I could keep it on this, which is this like larger circle. I like it for the reasons of if I'm trying to engage a target that is super far away, for example like a Roadhog, it lets me space it out much easier because what I'm able to do with it is I'm able to see the general region of the hitbox, and I can fight Roadhog or essentially put shots on him and also check different enemies' HP from super far distances. As some of you guys know, there's no option to turn on enemy health bars on any hero as of right now. And of course in the future if that changes, then but for the most part I just do this to check HP. So if I see that this thing is really low, I can either zoom up and then go kill it, and then I know I can just, you know, go out. If it's a target that's relatively low, I can go in and try to guarantee the kill, or I can sit further back and just continue shooting it from like a farther distance. But if they're like, you know, at half HP and it's like a mercy, I would rather get closer and, you know, just get the target down as quickly as possible so they don't get the res or whatever. It just lets me see the general region of where these shots are going to go, and that's just really good if you're fighting against something like a Roadhog or just a larger target, and it lets you space Winston just super well. Sometimes you'll see people try to go Winston against Tracer, and a good Tracer can space it well enough to where she doesn't really have that disadvantage against Winston, which is him left clicking and, you know, just automatically just beating you by outskilling you just with that left click. But Winston can also outspace you by, you know, using the shield, but against Tracer she's just too fast anyways. But yeah, that's my settings for Tracer. As far as Soldier goes, I also I have the bloom on. The reason why is the first 4 shots of let's wait for this thing to spawn. The first 4 shots of Soldier will always be 100% accurate. You can see that over there. I've actually made a video guide on Recoil, so if you guys want to watch that, also I'll link that down below. But I like bloom on because that shows me when my bullets are going to deviate. But you can see there's no bloom if I'm burst firing like this. But if I hold it down, you will see that the bullets will go further away. But if I burst, yeah, it just kind of helps me out. I also think the commando skin is pretty good for this. But overall, yeah, it just helps me make sure that I'm focusing and not just left clicking. Obviously, if they're right in front of my face, I can hold it down. But if it's super far away, I prefer to just burst them because, yeah, I'd rather would just get those headshots every time. Anyways, but that's my settings for Soldier. Again, its sensitivity is all the same. Okay, now Widowmaker. Here's where we get into something a little bit different. I have toggle on, so if I right click, it's going to zoom in and it's not going to unscope. And I changed it to this since the Widow's nerf, because you used to be able to scope in, scope out, and now I want to stay hard scoping because that's just the way she's oriented now. Unfortunately, you can't scope in and like halfway scope in. You have to wait for the animation to finish, and that's why I have it on right click on toggle. For her zoom sensitivity, I changed it to 21. I've been messing around with a lot of sensitivity settings, so probably in a few months this might change again, but for the most part I've been enjoying 21 for a while. As far as other heroes, I actually play Zarya once in a while. So as far as Zarya goes, the only difference that I have on her that's changed from the default setting is I have it so I can see my friendly's health bars, and that just lets me see a target that's low, and then I can just be like, oh, okay, you're shielded. So that setting I think is unarguably just better. Like that will definitely improve your gameplay on Zarya. And then lastly we have Lucio. For the custom settings, again, everything is going to be the same as far as sensitivity on all the other heroes. Well, there's a lot of stuff that I just don't change, but I'll update you guys in the future if there's changes. But I don't really play Lucio that often, as some of you guys know, but I do like having his jump bound to the scroll wheel. Other than that, though, that's my different custom settings for all the heroes. But yeah, if you guys notice anything that you guys think I can improve on, like if there's like any setting that you guys think is just overall better, let me know in the comment section below. But like I said, if you guys want to watch a video on like the recoil and a video also explaining all of the settings for like the dot and stuff like that, and the bloom and stuff like that, I've already made a video on that. But these are just my settings that I personally enjoy. Some of them deviate from what is normal anyways, but everyone has different preference. But a lot of you guys asked for my sensitivity and my settings for all the other heroes. And hopefully this will be a guide to maybe help you out and learn something new and try out different things, because if something's better, then I'm definitely open to try it out and see how it goes. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and I'm signing out.